See what, Andrea? I haven't seen you for a gazillion years.
It has been forever.
I know. I was just, so I don't, I'm not like a big makeup and hair person. And Melissa did my call yesterday and I was like, hey, don't worry. I'll do my hair and makeup for your call. And then I was like, ooh, why did I commit to that? So my theory was I'll just put on earrings.
You're so cute.
You look adorable.
Well, you're so cute, and I feel so special that you are feeling so formal about our call, because last night I think you were leaning up against the wall, and today you're like, you have earrings and makeup and you're and we love you and we would take you anyway.
Well, my call's at 8 and my office doesn't have doors. And so I had to lock myself in my bedroom, but they're all in bed now. So that's why you get the real, and I've got earrings on. I was thinking, I don't have very many earrings because I usually buy stuff before Scentsy events and we haven't had any Scentsy events. So here we are. These are my last pair of earrings down to the wire. We need some Scentsy events so I can get some new stuff. It's like the only reason I shop.
We were just talking about this. We have a leader Zoom right before this, and we were talking about how we all have not been together in so long. It's crazy. And then I said to Cassie, how long has it been since I saw you? And she said it was camp last year. And I was like, oh yeah, we had camp right before. Mm-hmm. Right before. That's crazy. So anyways,
that was my last Scentsy thing.
That was our last Scentsy thing. Mm-hmm. You guys, tonight I welcome a super special guest, one of my really good friends. She's kind of my Scentsy sister wife, Erin Shiflett. She's she's one of the first, not the very first, but one of the first people that I met very young in my Scentsy career, and we've only gotten closer and closer and closer since then. So she is amazing, and the topic that she talks about tonight is in our wheelhouse. We are very excited for her to be here. I'm not going to take up any more time. Erin Shiflett, introduce yourself to those that don't know you, and then you can take it away. Let me mute everybody really quickly. Erin, I'll unmute you. Okay. I'm going to mute all. And then, where did you go? Or you can unmute. Perfect.
Are we good to go?
I am pinning you up there, and we are good. Take it away.
Yay! Thanks so much for having me. And I requested Melissa just motivate my team, and I'm not exceptionally motivational speaking type. I'm more of a to-do list kind of a girl. But I really am excited because I do feel motivated about recruiting right now, because a year ago when COVID started going down, I was like, where am I going to get my recruits? Like, I am like Melissa, such an event, such a party person. I didn't even have a VIP page before COVID. I barely post to Instagram. I'm not a social media person. I run a very traditional book of business of home parties and events. So I was like, oh, where am I going to get these recruits? So I'm excited to talk to you guys about this today, because nothing on my list has anything to do with home parties or events or anything that is in person. So even though, God willing, we are at the tail end of this new life we're leading, and hopefully in 6 months, we're all so exhausted from doing a gazillion home parties, because I think people are definitely going to want to do them. We still have a few months left of this isolation, I think. So hopefully just a few more months and we can be back onto the road of events and home parties. But getting a little bit ahead of myself, my name is Erin Shiflett. I'm a superstar director, and I live in South Bend, Indiana. So right on the Indiana-Michigan border. And this June will be 14 years. And like all of you, love Scentsy. It's what it gives me all the things I need that I'm missing from my husband and my kids. So I won't go into that anymore, but trust me, I love Scentsy and I love the people. But we're here to talk about giving you guys a little recruiting refresh. I think that a lot of times we think about recruiting and we're like, oh, I don't even know where to start, or what has worked in the past is not working now, or I just need to like get remotivated after the fall selling season. I think a lot of us work really hard for the incentive period, and then we kind of get out of that groove a little bit. And now it's time to fire those engines back up for another incentive, another spring season. So the number one rule of recruiting, and it has nothing to do with recruiting, is you have to be selling $2,000 a month. And this is pretty across the board with Scentsy. $2,000 a month is where you're going to have enough connections with people. If $500, that is what we need to be leaders, but $500 is probably only 6 or 7 customers. One party, maybe 1.5 parties. That's probably not enough people to connect with. If I ask 10 people to join my team, probably only one of them is going to. So if you've only got 5 or 6 customer orders to get to that 500, and maybe 1 or 2 of them are online and you had no connection, that's probably not enough. So if you're going to work on anything at all, you've got to increase your PRV. And if you're a $500 person, then make your goal to be $750, and then $1,000, and then $1,500, and then $1,750, and then $2,000. And you'll see that as you guys increase your PRV, those connections will naturally turn into recruits. But then once you've increased your PRV, how do you put that into the magic of actually getting people to join? And I'm not going to train on this tonight, but you have to understand how the hostess kits work. How you can get them the $59 kit, a kit for $1. You really need to dive into that and understand that. And even if you have to have your neighbor be your dummy or whatever needs to happen, so that you truly understand how the flipping of a hostess works. I'm just gonna stop really fast and put somebody on. Is anybody willing to unmute themselves and tell me who your last recruit was? What the circumstances were around your last recruit? Anybody willing to unmute, or do I have to call? Cindy, unmute yourself. Yay! Hi. Oh, no, whoever. Christina. Perfect. Christina,
Yeah,
tell us about your last.
She's actually on right now. It's Tori Francisco. And I believe it was from a party, I think, when she joined. I think she either flipped her party or she attended one of my parties or something. I don't even remember. It happened so quickly.
Like an in-person party?
Yeah.
And why do you think, like, how did the conversation go? Tell us a little bit about it.
I don't remember a whole lot. I think she just fell in love with the product. She can probably tell you more. She's on here too. So.
Well, pause. I'm sorry. Who did you say who it was?
Tori.
I'll
put her on
Tori, tell us about why you joined Scentsy, or what that looked like. I can't see her, so. Maybe she's like, no.
I just unmuted.
Oh, perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Tori.
Okay, I love the product, and I actually was having a party, and I wanted to become a consultant, and so she flipped the party for me, and I became one. So my sister had previously been a consultant, and she ended up not following through, and I love the product, so I wanted to keep going with it. So I thought perfect opportunity.
Awesome. So, and did you use like the discounted hostess kit, or just take your party and flip it?
I just flipped the party. Yep.
Okay, perfect. And so this actually leads into my point. Nowhere when I asked you why you joined or the circumstances around you joining, did you say, I was broke, I needed money, I this, I that, or anything to do with money. And that's one of the main points that I really want you guys to understand, because I think a lot of people put a lot of focus on recruiting and joining to people who need money, and people don't join for money. Like, that's probably at the end of the day the last reason people join. And I'm really cautious when people tell me that they want to join because they need to make a bunch of money, because it takes time and energy, and you're not getting $500 paychecks the first month. Now, if you sell $2,000, we all know our paycheck's going to be $600, but it takes a little bit of time to build up to that. So I really want you guys to focus on stepping away from the concept of people joining for money, because people join because they love the product. They join because they want a place to put their creative energy. They want to be, this sounds so cheesy, but it's so true. They want to be an influencer. Like, they see social media and they see an opportunity to have something to kind of be part of an influencing group. But they don't usually, at the end of the day, most people don't join for money. I didn't join for money. Melissa didn't join for money. Most of the consultants out there, they don't join for money. So when you start to think about who do you think would love Scentsy as a side hustle, don't think about the people who need money. And that will really help you widen your gap, not your gap, that's not the right word, your pool of people that you could talk to about Scentsy. But when you do start talking with people, I've seen this so many times, and maybe you've been guilty of doing this or been on the receiving end with Scentsy or something else. You overshare information, and then the person's like, oh, hell no. Nope. That sounds like doing my taxes or registering my car or, planning something really complicated. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't overshare information. When I have a potential new consultant, I only answer their questions after they've joined. Because have you guys ever been part of something where you're like, I want to do this? Like, this sounds stupid. My kid's Lego set. I was like, I really want to do this. This is really complicated. I don't really want to I want the finished product, but I don't want to go through 75 steps to build this Lego set. So it's kind of the same thing with Scentsy. I see it time and time again, don't share information until after they join, and then keep it super simple. And then even after they've joined, keep it simple, spoon feed them in very small steps. We don't need to be focusing on the compensation plan in the first 30 minutes of training our new consultants. We'll cross that bridge down the road. And I'll just give a little hint. I actually use the new consultant guide as my training steps, because I can go through that page by page and circle the things that are important now and say, don't worry about this until 6 months down the road, or we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But then it's the easiest tool to train a new consultant, and you guys don't have to create any PDFs and documents or use somebody else's material. It keeps it very simple. So how does that feel? Does that make sense? Because we don't want our people overwhelmed. We want them to, Scentsy is fun. It should be exciting. It should be super simple. And we want to give them the information after they've joined so that they don't get overwhelmed and think, I can't do this. So let's see here. What else did I want to tell you guys? So when I joined, my sister, she had a party for Nicole Furland, and my sister lives in Utah. And she called me and she was like, oh, you should sell this product. And I was like, no, I'm not selling any products. And she was like, oh yes, you have to. And I couldn't do it. But within 24 or 48 hours of her telling me about this product that she wasn't going to sell either, I had a candle randomly combust in my bathroom. So I took that as a sign and decided to join. And the candle, had my husband not just literally been in the same room, it would have burned down our house, no questions asked. So I dove in, had no clue what I was doing. But when I think back about why did I join, I definitely felt like a magnet. It was I hate to use the word called, or it was some sort of ultimate reality. God was whispering in my ear that this was something that I needed to do. But even once I joined, I didn't know what I was doing, and that was okay. And I think that that's important that we tell our new consultants how this journey is going to look, that it's going to be complicated and a little bit at first, but we're going to be there to offer support, and that we believe in them. Nicole, she wasn't a great trainer. And she would tell you the same thing. She didn't do a great job at training me. One, I was across the country and it was before social media, but she did something really valuable. She built belief in me. She told me that I could do it. She told me how impressed she was by me. She told me that I was amazing right out of the gate. And I think that that is part of the reason I have had a lot of success was because Nicole did plant those seeds in me. So even if you're not a great trainer, even if you don't nail it in the pre-recruiting phase where you're trying to get them to join, if you can just build a little bit of belief in them and really tell them how amazing you think they will be, it doesn't have to be about the details of the compensation plan. They'll figure that out. You just have to like really truly put belief in them that they can do it and that they'll do a great job and that there's no way for them to fail. Like there's no way that they can fail. Even if they never place in one order, they still haven't failed because at least they got a great starter kit. So I think that the key here, what I'm trying to hit home is before they join your team and right after they join your team, you've got to build the belief that they can do this. And then they're going to shoot for that goal that they want to be who you want them to be. So, and one of the ways that I build belief in my potential team members is I mail out, like, they're kind of like VIP packets. They're not necessarily join kits. They're just more like product packets, samples, catalogs, you know, the same stuff you put everywhere. But I handwrite a little note, and these are to people that are not expecting me, have never told me that they're interested in selling Scentsy, but I see something special in them, some reason that I think that they would be a great consultant. And I write them a lovely, sincere, heartfelt note as to why I think that they would be an amazing consultant. With examples of why I think they should be. That's the homeschooling mom in me coming out. Like I'm always like to my kids, I need evidence. I need written evidence. I need proof. I need examples in your writing. And so I do that with my letters to my potential team members. I write them a handwritten note in my best Melissa Gratz handwriting. Never that good. And tell them why they would be an amazing consultant. And I can't tell you how by building that belief in people really gives them the confidence they need to say yes, especially when it's coming out of nowhere, like completely out of left field. And they get a beautiful package from me that says from my heart why I want them on my team. And sometimes it's immediately and sometimes it's down the road. But I really encourage you guys to take the time to think about who you would want on your team and to sincerely tell them why you think they'd be great. Let's see here. Tammy Frazier. Let me catch my breath.
Yes.
Tell me the last thing that you posted on social media about your Scentsy journey.
Oh goodness, I haven't posted. I'll be honest with you, I'm terrible about social media. That is one of the areas of that I really need to target. I need to get past the military in me that doesn't like to post a lot of things on social media. That kind of private.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't even imagine the last time I posted something. It's been a long time.
I know. I'm the same way. It's like one of my goals too. I am private, or yep. I do a good job on my VIP page now, right. Talking more about Scentsy, but I'm not really that great on posting in general, both Scentsy and my personal life. Like I force myself, even though I think of great content, I'm kind of lazy, I think. Right. And sometimes I think we all kind of go through this where we're like really active and then we're dead for like a week or two, really active and then dead. And I think that that's part of, it's a huge mistake for me and sounds like you too, Tammy, right? Yep. Working to be consistent. And sometimes it's like, well, I don't have anything to say. My life's kind of boring. Right. So if you do feel like your life is boring, I want you guys to really focus on doing some research on attraction marketing. So go to Pinterest and Google attraction marketing and Google or do a search for attraction marketing or post ideas. There's all sorts of things that you can look up on Pinterest to get some ideas. I did the word attraction marketing and thinking about what you can post and challenge yourself. 30 days, post every day for 30 days. Sometimes it can be Scentsy. Most times it should be about family or your hobbies or the funny things that you encounter. It should definitely not be about politics or religion or anything horrible like that. But the more that you share your journey and all aspects of your life, the more people are going to relate to you and think of you as somebody that they want to be attached to. And I think that, I know that when I'm more present on social media, I have higher sales. And when I have higher sales, I have more recruiting. And unfortunately, especially this year, we have to rely more on social media because people are on it more than ever. It's replacing bowling leagues and going to the movies, and the more present you are there and sharing your journey, the more success you're going to have, even though it's painful. Because Tammy, I'm with you. I don't enjoy it. I love hearing other people's stories, and I always think such positive things, and I love it. I love their stories, but I struggle with it. So challenge yourself to post 30 days in a row, or get a posting buddy where it's like, hey, I didn't see your post for 10 days, or holding each other accountable to really be sharing your journey. And then also when you're talking to people, do you talk about Scentsy? If you see somebody at the gas station, hey, how's it going? Oh, good. I just found out I'm going to Disney, or I just got done with, I've just been working a lot. Scentsy has been blowing up this year. It's crazy with COVID. Like, we doubled our business. Like, whatever you need to do to figure out ways to intertwine Scentsy into your conversations. Again, you're not asking them to buy, host, or join. You're just sharing your journey so that when they think of Scentsy, they think of you. And when they think of you, they think of Scentsy. And all of this plays into this big ball that goes together to recruit, to grow your team. Because without your sales, without your branding, without your social media, without your whole kit and caboodle, you won't have recruiting. So it all has to jive together. And when you are sharing your journey, we have to share with everybody how fun Scentsy is and how easy it is and what a great creative outlet it is. We don't want to show any negatives of Scentsy, but when you do share Scentsy, it shouldn't just be buy, host, join. So what do you think? Does anybody have any thoughts on that? I see Cassie, nodding her head a lot. Tell me what you're thinking.
Well, when you had asked Tammy when she just posted, when you had mentioned about the hostess kits, I was like, oh, wait a minute, I have a party I'm putting in on Monday. So I just did a post while you were talking that I have a host exclusive kit available, that did a little thing. So I'm hoping that might grasp some people, because I need to offer that more. I don't offer it. I feel like I don't offer it enough.
I know, I don't either. I don't either. But we need to get in the habit of, we never close a party without offering it to a couple people. And that's why having that dream team list going, Christina talked about, I've heard Christina talk about how, she has her list, and sometimes she offers it for $1 and sometimes she offers it for $40, for $59, depending on where the hot coldness of things. So yeah, I think you're right. We have to get back into those habits of thinking like a recruiter, and that's a prime example right there. They can join for $1 or free. So don't say that on social media, though. Don't forget that part. What is the rule? Like, you can't say that.
What's a host exclusive kit?
Okay, so
I'm
there's
sorry, I
two
came in late. I apologize.
oh, it's okay. I didn't say what it was anyway. So I said that I wasn't gonna like go into it a ton, but I want to make sure that you have the basics. There's two different kits that you can buy. You can buy a $99 kit. Anybody can buy it.
Right.
You can, if you have a host and you're putting in a party, once that party gets to $200, a hostess kit becomes available. And the hostess kit can be bought for $59 or it can be bought by using hostess credits. So we say you can buy it for $1 because if you have, $60 in, or I should say $58 in hostess credit, you can buy it for $1. My math is not, that doesn't make sense. But you see what I'm saying? You can use your hostess credit to pay for the hostess kit. And it's awesome because you don't have to, they don't have to spend any money if they're the hostess. Now, here's the thing. They don't have to be the hostess. Cassie was saying that she has a party that she's putting in. We all collect individual orders to create a party. So we should have a hostess kit available if we're, a couple times a month. But most of us are getting lazy and not offering it to people, right? Because I know I'm just trying to get my orders in as fast as I can because it's midnight and I'm tired, that I'm not slowing down or I'm not thinking in advance that I should be using that hostess kit to get my new team member.
And Erin, if you search on the workstation, host exclusive kit or host kit, there is a training that'll come up. There is a document that tells you exactly how to do it. There's been multiple trainings on it. So that would be, Erin's grazing over it, but the deep dive and understanding how it works is on the workstation. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, and it's not super, it's a little tricky when you first start. So don't give up, use your upline, use customer service, because it does have to jive with the host name and everything like that. But like Melissa said, get the training, go to your workstation, Google it, and I'm sure that there's even a YouTube video out there somewhere. So,
what's your thought? One other quick question.
Yeah.
What's your thought on if a person wants to come in? Like I talked to a friend of mine tonight. We were trying to do a Zoom call just with fellow graduates from the high school we went to, and she's a recruiter, but she doesn't have a job. She goes, "Is your company hiring?" And I was like, yeah, I'm hiring 24/7, which was awesome because I'm I'm an HR person / recruiter as well for my past jobs. And so when she asked me that, like, people just don't even know if you're hiring, so to put it out there all the time is just, it's not easy for some people maybe that aren't, recruiters, but for like someone that is a recruiter, it's kind of comes second nature. But she even said, as a recruiter, is your company hiring? So she didn't even really know much about Scentsy. And then she asked me if we were hiring. I said, yeah, we're hiring. You'd be great at, like you were saying, let people know that they would be great at it. And she would be really great at it just because of what she does. So do you recommend that she does a party and then do the host credit, or just come in as a recruiter and pay the $99?
I try to read each person case by case. If she's ready right this minute, get her $99 and get her signed up. Because
that's what I'm thinking.
If you wait too long, then
you lose them.
I don't want it to sound like some sort of creepy game, but I've been doing this for 14 years. I know how people work, and sometimes they just need to bite the bullet and do it. And honestly, a lot of the times my consultants that join for the $99 kit, they're more committed. So, and they work a little bit harder. They've got a little bit more skin in the game. And a lot of times I try to push people towards a $99 kit depending on how we're driving. But that does bring up a good point, Kathy, that I wanted to hit on. That do people really know how Scentsy works? Do your friends, do your family, does your husband, your wife, your significant other, do they really understand that you're trying to grow your team and what that looks like? Because a lot of people, I've had people, my last recruit was my husband's cousin. And she said, well, I didn't want to take any of your business by joining. And I was like, oh, honey, you're not taking any of my business. I need you to, well, I didn't really understand how it worked. we've been so ingrained in this business for so long that we just assume everybody understands how a direct selling model works, and they don't. So you need to make that a goal to have those conversations with your friends and family that want to support you but aren't going to be team members, and say something like, hey, if you know anybody who you think would be great at Scentsy, hook me up. Let me know. Let them know how Scentsy's been so great for me and my family, and teach them to be your little spies. You know, my sister's always like, hey, you need to reach out to so and so. She just had her baby and she would be awesome at Scentsy. So I then start being more intentional with so and so. I start to build that relationship a little bit more. I'm never spammy. I'm never creepy or gross when I'm intentional. But I'm intentional, meaning I'm going to start dating you. I'm going to start dating you. And not because I just want you on my team, but because I think Scentsy would be great for you. So, and that's the one thing I don't love about direct selling is when we have these kind of conversations where like, be intentional, but I would never be intentional with somebody I didn't like. So that's where the gross part comes out. I would never pursue, I would never put in more time. I would never be really try to make that person feel more welcome or special or whatever, any of those words that you want to use, unless I was sincere. So that's where the difference has to be. You can't be creepy, gross to people that you don't like. You have to be loving to all people, but it's just a matter of taking that extra step to be intentional with somebody you think would be great at Scentsy.
You know that just one people are like, Amber's laughing. Becker is totally laughing and cheering at that.
Why? Is that stupid?
No, it's true. Being genuine and sincere with, and I don't know, you tell it. Tiffany just said it's so spot on.
Well, you don't want to be that, I don't want if I don't like you, I don't want you on my team, period. But if I like you, I want you on my team, I'm just going to go a little bit harder. I'm going to give you the little extra because I have to be intentional because I have a husband and wife, I have a husband and kids and I'm working all these things and I have to be intentional with the people that I think will do a great job. If not, my business won't work. So at the end of the day, we have to be intentional. And that's pretty much what my entire conversation at the end here is like, if you find nothing else, the first thing you have to do is the $2,000 PRV. If you do nothing else, just be intentional with your Scentsy dating life. That's it. So there we go. Anything else we want to talk about?
I love it. Thank you so much.
Yes. Oh, stop that conversation. I've been like, I do not want to recruit this person. Nope. My time is valuable. This is a huge red flag here. What was that guy's name that like was married and dating all those girls? Anyways, Jamie Collar or something like that.
Jason.
Else go down? Did you watch that? Did you go down that rabbit hole, Melissa?
I did not go down his rabbit hole, no.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I've been down plenty other rabbit holes though lately of all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yes.
No, not him.
So I hope that you guys all grow leaps and bounds in 2021. Use this not a lot of downtime, but use this time to be intentional. Don't just scroll through Facebook, work your relationships. And I know you'll see growth, but focus on that $2,000 PRV. That's all. That's all I got. I took notes.
And I want to reiterate one thing that Mary Jane said, I think last week, but it has stuck with me and I'm trying to be better. But Mary Jane had said, when you're on Facebook, your job on Facebook is to comment on everybody's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're supposed to. If you're going to scroll and if you're going to spend time on Facebook, then it should be commenting on other people's, their kids, whatever it is they're posting, you're commenting on. And that has stuck with me because that's what I'm not doing a good, consistent job of. And that's what I need to be doing. So even if you're not a huge poster, you can still be somebody that's present on social media, which will in turn cause people to interact with you. Janie.
You know, instead of just liking it or giving it a like, a thumbs up, put your words in there. Take the time, like, oh, so cute, or cute puppy, or looks great, or love it. Anything, two words.
Yep.
Well, and somebody else, I can't even remember who told me this, told me that they unfollow all Scentsy people. Who was it? And I was like, that's so mean. And she was like, no, because I need to see my customers and I need to see my potential team members in my feed. And if I don't, then I, you know, then it's all just going to be Scentsy people announcing their trip to Disney. And she's not wrong.
You guys
that told me that. I was like,
me.
Was it you?
Yeah.
Was it you?
Was
it you?
It was me.
It wasn't you. It was somebody else.
Okay, well, I did that too, except for I still have Scentsy consultants on my Facebook, but I went from 4,700 people on my Facebook to like 1,600 because.
Oh no, it was Rachel Pence, but you just unfriended them all.
I did, because I'm trying to up my game on Instagram, not Facebook is where I want to interact with people personally in my life, and I want to see what they're doing. And before, my entire news feed was Scentsy people. So I was seeing the Warmer of the Month 87 times. So I just stopped going to Facebook altogether. And so, but that's just it, because now my news feed is people that I want to be interacting with on a small scale. But Instagram, that's where I will interact with anybody there. But it's not, I mean, Becker.
It's not a bad plan. I started unfollowing some people because I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I want to see my customers. And you know what I have been doing also is the people that I think are on my docket to be my next team members, sometimes I don't see their feed. I just go find them, do a search for them, find them, and then comment on their next couple posts, because then they'll show up in my algorithms, and I need them to remember me. We need to be best friends.
Now I know that anybody that, and I know that you can group people and you can put them in lists, and
I don't have time for that.
Unfollow it. That's too much administration for me. And so, but what I am doing is I am adding my party guests. My online party guests are getting added to Facebook. So now, if it is somebody that I scroll my feed and I'm like, who is that? It's a party guest, and I make sure to comment on their stuff. So if you are either in my circle or in my world on my Facebook, or because here's the thing, Scentsy consultants, you can still, and I'm talking outside of our group really, but people can reach you in 50 different ways. There's a million different modes of communication anymore. If somebody wants to get to you, they'll get to you. But I want to start controlling, because I want to be intentional with my social media. I want to start controlling what I can control on social. And so it isn't against anybody by any means. There is a little method to my madness. And I did put a public post. So if you did, not you, but if anybody did get unfriended, the public post that is on my page that'll come up is say, follow me on Instagram. So that anybody that wants to see me, they can come play with me on Instagram. The more, the merrier.
Well, but going back to the beginning of COVID, I was like, mother swear word, I don't know where I'm going to get these recruits this year. Like, where am I going to get these recruits? And I have been floored at people joining my team that I've never met, but that I was able to build that connection through social media and VIP party packs and upping my when they online order, I'm texting them, I'm being intentional with, I'm just being extra. That's the word. I'm just being extra. We talked about it at camp. It's the squirrel method, being extra. You think about somebody, you just go the extra step and comment or text them or whatever. You just be a damn good friend.
Yeah.
To people you don't know. To people you don't know, you're best friends.
Yeah.
But it works. It's working. And I know you guys can recruit like crazy, even without events and parties and all the things. we can do this. We're proving that we can do this, that being locked up in our house is not going to be a game changer for us.
Right.
It's going to be a game changer in a good way. So yeah, whatever you guys sit down tonight, make your list of people that you want on your team. And we've been saying it for 14 years and it's so cliche, but who you want on your team, they make your goals, make your team, make it fun, make it everything who you would want to invite to take off your bra and sleep over at your house. Just like that. That's how it works. That's it.
You're off it. That's the best way to end. Thank you so much.
I love you guys. I'm so happy to see so many of your faces, and the people that I don't know, I can't wait to meet you. I guess it won't be until World Tour next year, and it'll be in Detroit or someplace like that, and I'll meet you guys, and they should make World Tour, because that really will be like the next event. They should make World Tour like 3 days long, like, like SFR, but like in February. And that would be amazing.
Can you repeat that? What did you say about take off your bra and what?
Stack your team with people that you could. Go ahead, Erin.
I'm just saying, like, make it when you think about people that you want to hang out with. Take off.
What's the quote?
Pick your team based off who you want to take off your bra and have a sleepover with. I think that's what I said. The gist of it. But it's true. It's true.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's really like, because we've all become such good friends, and Scentsy is the vehicle that got us there, but it's the excuse that we keep getting together, is because we're working, but it's just a giant sleepover and it's so fun. So who do you want to have fun with? Yep. Make them join your team.
Love it.
So
best. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. It was so good to see you. Love you lots.